button. I'm not sure if it's recording. Let me stop the share just to make sure that okay, it is recording. Very good. So I'm going to share again. All right. Thank you, everybody, for showing up tonight. This is Sophia Mona Lisa, Alchemical Creation High Priestess for the Golden Ray Sender, and I'm really excited to share with you the Rose Wheel Mystery School that has been revealed to me and is really being birthed through me and through all the participants over the years to come. So I'm going to go ahead and get started because we're tight on time. I just want to remind you very quickly. Let me get my, okay, there's a delay in the, hold on a second. There we go. Remind you very quickly to turn off all your distractions, your cell phone, your email, your social media, so that we can focus on what I'm going to share with you tonight. And just be cognizant that there's for some reason, there's a delay in forwarding these screens. Okay, so tonight what I'm going to cover is how to know if this mystery school is for you, the unfolding of this mystery school through me and into my consciousness, what the meaning of Rose Wheel is, the components of the program, what the program will include, what your investment options are, and then some questions and answers. I did have a few questions come in by email, so we'll answer those and also your questions as well. So you will know that this mystery school is for you if you have a deep desire, like your heart is calling you, and you know without a doubt that that you are desiring to understand the laws of the universe, to understand your place in the universe, and to understand your relationship with your inner being, with that which we call all that is, which is source, which our inner being is an extension of, and your relationship with the energy that creates worlds. So if this resonates deeply for you, then you know that this mystery school is for you. So the way that this happened is I was actually in the middle of my alchemical creation high priestess process when I received this inspiration in January 2017. I was working with the high priestess Lisa Michaels, who has created these elemental creation cards and has put together a manifestation matrix. And I was doing a workshop with her on how to use the manifestation matrix and how to use the cards. And it was in that workshop that I received the words Rose Wheel. And I had no idea what that meant. I had no idea what it looked like. And over the course of the year, it became clearer and clearer to me. And anything that I might have even presumed that it could have been, it turned out to be nothing like that whatsoever. So what happened was, over the course of that year, I kept mulling it over, asking for guidance, asking to image it and everything. Finally, at the winter solstice in December 2017 is when it finally started to kind of come together with me, and I knew, okay, this is the mystery school. So what was going on in December is Quawar, which is a creator god for one of the native tribes out in California, was at 0 degrees Capricorn. Quawar is at the farthest reaches of our galaxy. And so for that intelligence and that wisdom to be coming in through Capricorn was huge in terms of becoming a foundation for this mystery school, because that dancing into manifestation from those energies has never before happened within our collective consciousness. At the same time, 2 days before the winter solstice, Saturn was entering 0 degrees Capricorn, and I received a whole download about Saturn actually being a goddess and not a god, a goddess that was usurped by patriarchy. And I did a blog on that that's on my blog that you can go back and look at. And then right after the winter solstice, Venus entered 0 degrees of Capricorn on Christmas Day. So this was a lot of cosmic energy in Capricorn, which happens to be my solar sign. That's those energies that fuel me and keep me inspired. All of that was going on. So meanwhile then, January rolls around, new year. We've got that full moon in Cancer on January 1st at 11 degrees. And you'll notice at the beginning of the month, we had a full moon at 11 degrees. And at the end of the month, 11 degrees. And I saw that as a portal, as a gateway for this that was birthing through me. So when we had that Cancer full moon, it was actually conjunct my natal Orcus. And Orcus is all about the vow that you have made for your incarnation. And for many of us that have been priestesses in the past and have been a part of mystery schools in the past, we've made vows to the sacred feminine. And so that was very much in alignment with this. Also, transiting Pluto was conjunct my natal sun. So this was a total regeneration and like a, you know, the phoenix rising from the ashes in terms of what the sun was desiring to fuel and create through me. So that was a very powerful Cancer full moon, very close to my natal moon. My natal moon's at 5 degrees. So that was a powerful time. Couple weeks later, we've got the Capricorn new moon at 26 degrees. Here we have the Sun and Venus conjunction. This is huge. And this Sun and Venus conjunction is what clicked in and where I got the understanding of what the term rose wheel means. And I'll share that with you in just a minute. Also, Mercury was conjunct my natal moon. And that Sun-Venus conjunction was conjunct also my natal north node. So that was telling me that this was fated. This is where, this is like a you know, il destino, where everything I had done in this life, all my evolvement, all my expansion was culminating at this point. I was right, totally in alignment in terms of what I came here to create and do. And then we had the Leo full moon eclipse. One of the eclipses, we've been having this series of Leo Aquarius eclipses since 2017. We're getting ready to have another one in August that I'll mention later. The final one will be in January of next year. That Leo full moon eclipse, it was conjunct both the north and the south nodes, showing me that this work was very much in alignment with the evolutionary path for humanity. And then during that eclipse, the sun was conjunct my natal Saturn. There we go again, Saturn there, up there, that goddess of Saturn. And so the Saturn energies are very, very much intertwined with the foundation of this wisdom school. And then today we have the Capricorn full moon at 6 degrees conjunct Saturn. So you see all of this Saturn, Capricorn, Venus energy with these full moons and new moons, and of course Saturn being the goddess of Capricorn. And so that's why I chose today to introduce this, because it just seemed a natural, you know, stepping off place. And then of course it does, this whole idea of the mystery school does fulfill the mission of my center, the Golden Ray Center, which is all about you know, restoring sacred relationship, restoring sovereignty and sacred relationship. So let's talk about the meaning of the rose wheel. The rose comes from this image right here. This is actually the pattern that Venus makes as she travels through the sky every 8 years. She makes a rose pattern in the sky. And then this is the astrological glyph for the sun, and it looks like a wheel. And when that came together for me, when that Venus and sun conjunction happened at that Capricorn full moon, it was like it just clicked into place. Of course, rose wheel, the conjunction of those energies, of the sacred energy and that solar masculine energy that fuels everything that's in our galaxy. In our galaxy. So that's what the meaning of the rose wheel is. Now, the components of the program are going to be very much based on my experience as an alchemical creation High Priestess, my experience of consciously working with the law of attraction, my experience of co-creating with the cosmos through shamanic astrology, and my experience of co-creating through alchemy, which is what the focus of my High Priestess process was. So I'm sure you're probably familiar with all of these masters that have talked about the law of attraction. And I have my own, interpretation of all of those teachings. These are the cosmic events that are going to be happening during this particular introduction in the Mystery School, July through January. And you'll notice everywhere there's an asterisk that is an eclipse. Look at the power of this time period that we're going to be working consciously with. So we've got that new moon eclipse in Cancer. We've got the full moon eclipse in Aquarius. We've got the new moon eclipse in Leo. And then down here in January, the second of the Cancer Capricorn eclipses that today's full moon is inaugurating this new series of eclipses on this Cancer Capricorn axis that's going to go over the next 2 years into 2020. You see this Aquarius Leo series it's coming to an end. This is the 7th one in Aquarius, the 8th one in Leo, and then in January, that will be the final one in Leo. And that eclipse series has been on the mastery path of relationship equality, which has evolved us beautifully to this point where now we can look at evolving our relationship path with home, family, and community. And so I'm very, very excited about what's going to be coming up for us over those next few months. These are the elemental forces of creation cards that I use, that Lisa Michaels created. I don't have an image of her manifestation matrix here, but as a part of this, I'll be teaching you how to use these cards in conjunction with the manifestation matrix so that you can be aligning and co-creating what your heart is inspiring you to do through this matrix and through these cards. These are the exact tools that I use that allowed this Rose Wheel Mystery School to be manifested from a thought, from an inspiration and a thought to now here the Mystery School is beginning. So I just want to make a note here that I do not make any money off of the sale of that product. It's just a product that I use, and everybody that takes the program should have as well. So this is what the 7-month program includes. You will receive an individual membership in the Golden Ray Center community, and those benefits will be available to you through the end of the year. That's a $60 value. Every month, you will have a 2-hour private session with me that is going to be working with you and your personal shamanic chart around those new moon and full moon and eclipses that I showed you in the previous slide. So for 7 months, having that kind of private work with me, that's a $3,500 value. In addition to your private session, you're going to receive an additional private coaching call so that as stuff is coming up and you're working through it and you require clarification, we can do that. So a coaching call over those 7 months is a $756 value. And then we're going to be having monthly meetings as a group. One of the monthly group meetings is going to be working together with the alchemy and the manifestation matrix. And so doing that every month is a $1,750 value, which makes this program value a $6,066 value. And then I'm throwing in some bonuses. We're going to have that secondary group meeting, which is going to be a support meeting for everybody, getting all the questions and answers together. And it's not going to be me answering questions and answers. We're going to be working together and supporting each other through that. And then we're also going to have our private Facebook group specifically for our Mystery School community. So the total bonus value of those monthly group Q&A support meetings, $1,750. So the entire program is an investment value of $7,816. And I am making that available to everybody for the rock bottom price of $1,533. So you'll have two options to make this investment. You can go ahead and do a monthly payment plan over the 7 months for that full value of $1,533. That monthly payment plan will be $219. If you select that option, when you go to this link, you will just pay the $219, and then you'll be billed every month after that for the $219. If your budget allows you to pay for it in full, then I'm giving you a $525 savings by paying in full $1,008. So you can go to this link to select your payment option and to register in the Mystery School. So I want you to know that your enrollment is risk-free. You do get a 100% refund of your tuition if within 30 days you decide it's not for you. The caveat for that refund is that you must be fully engaged in the first month of the program so that you know whether or not the program really is for you. And so now at this time, we'll do some questions and answers. I don't have a clock, so I don't know where we are on the time. I got 8:23 here on my phone. Okay, so do any of you have any questions that you want to ask first? And we'll get through those, and then I'll go through the ones that I got in the email.
I have a question, if you can hear me.
I can. Go ahead.
My question is, on the monthly group meetings, what would be the length of time that we meet? And is that more interactive where we all talk, or how? I'd like a little bit more insight on that.
Thank you. Very good question. Yes, the monthly group meetings, the Alchemy and Manifestation meeting, and also the Q&A meeting, those will be very interactive. You know, I'll be kind of facilitating and leading it, but that's really where I want the group to work together as a co-creative force, as co-creative collaborative components. And those meetings will last an hour. We'll try to keep it to an hour. I'm really picky about, you know, honoring everyone's time. If we need to run over, you know, 10, 15 minutes because we're deep into something, I'm not going to say, look, it's an hour, we got to cut this off and you need to wait for the next call. So I will be flexible about that. The intention is to keep it within that 1 hour container, and it will be very collaborative.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Any other questions? Okay, so let me get to the questions that were in the emails. The first question that I received is, what is the registration deadline? The Mystery School is starting in July. And so, you know, you can register tonight, you can register anytime through the month of July. The sooner you register, the sooner you can start scheduling your private session with me for July and get your coaching call in for July, and you know, participate in those group calls. And I am allowing people up through the end of July to register. Anybody that registers towards the end of July, you know, basically they're going to have to meet my private schedule, personal schedule, to get those calls in for July. And I will be recording the group sessions, so they'll have access to those group sessions if they've missed them. Are there any questions about anything I just shared?
If you don't mind, I'd like to ask, on the 2-hour private session, what does that look like? Are you kind of going over our charts for that month, or what's that about?
Yes, yes. We are co-creating with those eclipses and with those new moons and full moons, and that's going to be, it's going to be personalized to what's going on in your shamanic chart and what your evolutionary, how your evolutionary path is unfolding for you. So it's going to be a very personal experience for you, a very personal journey for you.
Does that mean that it'll give more guidance on what a person's path is supposed to be?
It will give you guidance on what your evolutionary path is, and as we work through this, particularly through understanding your relationship with your inner being and with all that is, you're going to be able to come to understand that path and understand when you're receiving inspiration that is keeping you on that path, and when you are kind of getting off track, and will be able to learn how to know that you're off track and be able to at will bring yourself back on track.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. Okay, let me see where I am on time. All right, very quickly, next question. Am I drawn to this mystery school because I have participated in mystery schools in past lives? Very likely anybody drawn to this work has been in a mystery school before, has been a priest or a priestess, worked in the goddess temples, and been a part of the mystery school. So if this is something that's calling to you, it's because this is how you do your work. This is how you do your conscious expansion and evolution. So very much so. Any questions about that?
Nope, I'm clear.
Okay. What are some of the benefits to me for participating in a mystery school? So to me, it's all about alignment with who I am, knowing that I am that extension of source that can consciously and deliberately co-create with the infinite resources that I am as source. And so that's going to be the benefit, is that you're really going to know. You're going to come to know. It's not going to be an intellectual idea that, oh yeah, I'm an extension of source. You know, I'm a goddess, I'm God. No, you're going to know. You're going to know yourself as the vastness of that eternal consciousness from which all things create. And you're going to know your power as that creative being. Does anybody have any questions on that? Okay. Next question. Will being in the mystery school heighten my spiritual abilities such as clairaudience and clairvoyance? So we see those spiritual abilities as gifts of the spirit, and they're natural. People who are not living that alignment with their inner being and knowing themselves as source, they can kind of tend to see those abilities as something that they can't access, or those that do have access to those as being special or unique. These are natural abilities that unfold and become more and more available to you as you are staying aligned with your inner being and working at that source level in a co-creative manner with, you know, who you're allowing yourself to be, and that part of you that is on the leading edge of who you have evolved into and have become. And as those 2 points of reference, of relativity for yourself are working together, those spiritual abilities absolutely unfold and become enhanced. Any other clarification required on that? Okay, I'm going to take about 5 more minutes to answer these last 2, and then I'm going to bring it to a close. If other people are doing this program with me, is that an indication of having worked together in past lives? What it's an indication of is you may have worked in past lives together. You know, I don't know. What it definitely is an indication of is that that person has a frequency within their field that is activated and is resonant with the same frequency that is activated in your field. And so, you know, this is all about the evolutionary journey, and it's all about consciously and deliberately creating through the power of who we are as creative beings. And so if you're going to be involved in this program, those other people sharing this program with you have that same frequency resonating within them, it's same frequency activated within them. Otherwise, you would not have been joined together would not have been, you know, attracted to each other as a group. Any other clarification on that point? Okay, and the last question that I received was, Will it be an interactive program with the other participants? And I believe I've answered that yes, the 2 group meetings will be very interactive, very co-creative. Because remember, the fact that all of you have come together for this program means that you're cooperative components. And so especially as you're being inspired to create and manifest things, you know, they will be there to support you in building the momentum and keeping the focus for those creations. Are there any final questions that you would like to ask me before we bring this presentation to an end?
I do have a question.
Okay.
Can you kind of just give me an example of how you are blending, I guess, based off of the monthly 2-hour session and then the monthly coaching calls? Is it primarily that you're working with the shamanic astrology? I guess give me an idea of how it all kind of flows together.
So the way that I work, and it all blends naturally through me, is I work with alchemy, I work with shamanic astrology, and I work with the law of attraction. And so as I'm working with you in your 2-hour group, all of those components will be coming together, and I will be sharing those. I will be activating that medicine within you, and you will be learning how to use the it's kind of like, I would think like watercolors, how to take different colors and blend them together to make, to create something. So it's going to be a very organic and really spontaneous experience.
Okay.
And then the coaching call will just be to help you clarify everything that we did in your 2-hour session, plus everything that you're experiencing through the course of the month that's coming up because of these cosmic energies that we're working with. So anything that you need to process, clarify, refine, clean up, we'll be doing together using those same components in the coaching call.
Okay. Very good.
Good. Thank you for that question. I appreciate it. Listen, I want to go ahead and bring this to a close so we don't get cut off by Zoom. I have recorded this. I will be posting the slides and the recording to this link on the page for the registration, which let me move. It's not moving. Okay, it's goldenraycenter.com/mystery-school/. So they'll be posted there, and I will put a note in the event group as soon as I get those posted, and I'll be sending out a newsletter announcing that they're posted as well, so you don't miss those. Okay, is everybody good?
Good here. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. I'm really excited about this, and I'm really excited for you participating, and I send you many, many, many blessings from me to you. Good night.
Night, Eileen.